Yes, guys. So basically, I was doing a podcast every single day, even Saturday and Sunday, 7 days a week. Then I started moving house, so it's a bit harder. And then I did move house, and I'm in my new house now, and that is the internet. But that's not always been there, guys. I had to get that installed by a man and a virgin. So the podcast started going to weekly. Oh yeah, lovely clicks. And I've done podcasts ages ago. So I put a couple of them out, like re-released them because no one used to listen to my podcast and people listen now. So they was old, but they was new to most people because they hadn't heard them. What am I saying? Yeah, so once a week, and now this is the week, and it's Thursday as I'm recording this. So the week is nearly up, and I've not put one out this week, and I wanted to put at least one out every week. But people keep letting me down, don't they? You know who you are if you're watching this. So I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to jump on and do one on my own, because otherwise there's going to be no podcast, or I just re-release an old one, but then that's a bit crap. Because a lot of the ones we're talking about stuff, there was one I was going to put out about Ben Rants, but when I spoke to Ben Rants, he was single, and now he's like all married off and having a baby and everything. But that was quite a good one. I've done one with Terry Stone, from actor Terry Stone, Rise of the Foot Soldier and all that sort of stuff, but that wasn't to do with TikTok, so we didn't talk about TikTok, so it's not TikTok, so just thought I'd jump on and tell you a few story times. Who remembers MySpace? So back in MySpace, if you don't remember MySpace, or you don't know what it was before Facebook basically. Like, it was the main thing, but it was better than Facebook at the time. On Facebook, if you see a fit girl and you add them, they will ignore it, or they will DM you and say, "Excuse me, how do I know you?" On MySpace, people didn't ask how you knew them. They knew that you was just adding them to be friends because you thought that they had big tits or something. So, and you used to put your music on there. And a lot of people like Lily Allen, Arctic Monkeys, that sort of stuff, took off from putting their music on MySpace. And it was free. People could listen to your music for free, and you go onto the page and the music would play. So that's when I first started. Oh, sorry, I need to go to a chiropractor. That's when I first started on the internet. It was MySpace. And I was chatting to this girl in Scotland, and we was hitting it off, but obviously it's another country. I don't know, I know some people aren't aware of that, but it is an actual another country. So she messaged me one day and said that she was going to London for a shopping trip with her mate. They was going to fly over, and they was going to go shopping and go like tourist bollocks around London. And I was in Southend-on-Sea, my hometown, and she was like, "Do you want to meet me quickly for a drink?" So I was like, "Yeah," but back in the day I was drinking every day. And I don't know about you guys, but not really now because I'm older now and more experienced. But I used to be a bit of a prick when I drunk, like a fucking arsehole. You know, really argumentative and a complete prick, basically. So anyway, I think I was drunk, or I'd been drinking, and I was meant to meet her, and I got the train to go and meet her, but then on the way up there, we was just arguing in text. So I got all the way there, but by the time I got there, she didn't want to meet me. And then I'm in London then, which is like 50 minutes to an hour from Southend-on-Sea. So a lot of my friends would normally be in London, work in London, or hang out in London. So I didn't want to get the train straight back. So I went to an internet cafe, because I didn't have, this is like, you didn't really have internet on your phones. Went to an internet cafe. That was quite a popular thing to do. Went to an internet cafe, put up a little story on MySpace, "Is anyone in London, because I'm fucking here," and like, I'm gonna go back home soon unless someone wants to hang out. And then I think I left, and then I ended up going to a pub on my own, which I've never done, and I don't think I've done since. Unless I'm with the dog, which I don't have a dog anymore, so no. Just went to a bar and then got a drink and just sat on my phone, and that's probably the first time I've ever just hung out on my own, which is a bit sad really, but I just got drunk. I got chatting to this guy, and I was just drinking with this guy in London, and I think I went outside for a fag. I don't smoke now, but I used to. And you know when you're going somewhere, like when you go in the cinema in the daytime, and then you come out and it's fucking dark and it's like really weird. So I went into this pub in the light daytime, and then was drinking in there, and then went outside to have a fag or make a call or something, and it was fucking dark. Sorry, I've been looking after my son Alfie today and I'm fucking knackered. So anyway, and then this guy approached me. So this was in Soho, the red light district. And when you go to Soho, I don't know if it's changed, but there'll be all doors, and on the door it would say Asian models this way, blonde models this way, large models this way, petite models this way. It would describe these models, but they're not models. And it would look like a modelling agency or something like that. And it would say like fucking, like I say, Asian model that way. And you'd go upstairs and it'd be a brothel, and there'd be Asian women in there with like hardly any clothes on. And then you pay the madam some money, and then you can have sex with these women. So this guy has come up to me and gone, "Are you looking for a woman or a man?" And I was like, "A woman." But I wasn't looking for a woman. I didn't know, I'd never been there before. I didn't know what was going on. But I knew what he was getting at, but obviously I'm not into men. And I was pissed by then. So I was like, "A woman?" And he was like, "Follow me." And he was like, "It's 80 quid. And I was like, "I haven't got any money." And he's like, "Get some money out the wall." So I got 80 quid out the wall. He was following me around here. And we was going zigzagging all around the fucking houses around Soho. And then he goes, "Go up there." He goes, "Give me 80 quid. I gave him 80 quid. And then he went on the buzzer thing, a buzzer on the wall, and said, fucking, I won't say, I wasn't called Stan then. My name is actually Stan Blade now, but I changed it legally. So he was like, buzzed on the wall, "Got Stan coming up, blah, blah, blah." Go up the stairs. So I went through this door, went up all these stairs, and there was like this woman from like fucking Mo from EastEnders, like some madam woman, and then there was a big black girl in a thong and bra. I would not pay to sleep with a black girl. Don't come at me saying I'm racist. It's just not my, what's the word, type. And I'm allowed to say that. It's just not racist. You cannot make me sleep with a big black girl just to be fucking PC. Oh yeah, gotta be PC. I don't want to. You can't make me. So anyway, I was pissed. And you know when you're drunk, you shag anything, don't you? So the pot noodle put me off a little bit. I hate pot noodles, and it's not very It's not very sexual. It's not like she was sucking on a banana. She was eating a pot noodle. So anyway, she was fucking give Mo the money, fucking 70 quid. And I'm like, "I just paid the guy outside." And she was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Just paid the guy outside." And she was like, "What?" And then she spoke to the woman, and she was like, "He's just been ripped off outside." And I was like, "What's going on?" And she was like, "You've just been conned. That man's nothing to do with us. You have to pay us. You don't pay some random man outside." And I was like, "What?" So this guy just fucking ripped me off basically. And obviously hindsight is a one. I don't know why they say hindsight is a wonderful thing. No, it's not. Hindsight is an annoying thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's really fucking annoying. But obviously I didn't fucking know. I was young, I was drunk, I'd never been there before. And he's on the buzzer and that, it seemed legit to me, do you know what I mean? So anyway, he fucking ripped me off. They kicked me out. I'm not going to pay another 70 quid. Especially for that. Eating a pot noodle. So I've come out and then I thought, this is fucking bollocks. And I've gone straight into the nearest pub. There's a pub up there. I've gone straight into the pub. Got more drunk. Didn't mind being on my own. Because I was drunk by then. So it's alright when you're drunk, innit? Everything's alright. So there was a guy in there. It was absolutely fucking rammed in this pub. And I managed to get a table, and then there was a guy sitting opposite me with massive headphones on, just drinking like this. And it was absolutely packed. So as soon as you got up, it would take you ages to get a drink. So being the thoughtful, caring man that I am, I offered the man a drink. So I'm going to the bar, do you want me to get you a pint? And he was like, and I was like, let me get you a pint, it's fine. You know when you're pissed. Let me get a drink. Have a drink with me. With me! But he didn't want one. And it wasn't till months or years later, I realised that it was like it's a gay place, isn't it? Summer Soho. And it was probably like a gay bar. And when I was just genuinely being kind, but he thought that I was trying to buy him a drink and that I was trying to suck his dick. Do you know what I mean? In the long run, if you go to a gay bar and you buy a man a drink, you're like coming on to them. But I was just trying to be nice. Anyway, come out of that pub, and fucking another guy comes up to me and says, are you looking for a woman or a man? Exactly the same before, but a completely different guy. This was like an Indian guy, and the other guy was like a white fucking Londoner guy. So it wasn't the same guy, but it was the same patter, pitch, whatever. And I was like, oh, fuck off. I've just been fucking conned by fucking one of you fucking pricks. I need to get my tablet. I've got my nerve pain now. Anyone that's followed me on TikTok will know what I'm talking about. Google electric shocks in the jaw. Google symptoms electric shocks in the jaw, and you will see what I've got. So I can't pronounce it. So I was like, I've just been conned by fucking one of you guys. He's like, no, I won't take no money off you. Just follow me. I used to work back then for a cleaning company, and it was like industrial cleaning. Used to get like 400 or 500 quid a week, which is quite a lot of money. So I had a bit of money. So he was like, follow me, don't give me any money, just follow me. And I was like, fuck's sake. So he goes, go up this stairs. He said, blonde models this way. So I went upstairs, didn't give this guy any money. Went upstairs, the woman was like £70 for half an hour. This girl was fit. Blonde, I don't normally go for blondes. I know most guys just go for blondes typically. This is like the typical girl that you'd picture a man going for. Blonde, petite, fit as fuck. And she was like foreign, like accent. She didn't look foreign, she looked British, but when she spoke, she was like Polish or Russian or something. And she was fucking fit as fuck. And there was like £70 for half an hour. So I was pissed at my head and I was just mucking around. There's like big heavy curtains and stuff like that. And I was like, what's that? Yeah. And then she's like, don't open the curtain. And I pulled my jeans off. And you know, sometimes when you pull your jeans down, you got like hundreds of pounds and they just roll everywhere. and more coins were rolling everywhere, and I was just mucking around. And obviously when you shag a prostitute, you have to wear a condom. I mean, it's probably sensible to wear a condom, but obviously I don't normally wear condoms ever. I think I wore a condom about 3 times, and I'm 38, and I've shagged about 50 same women. So that's cool, isn't it? But yeah, we don't like to wear condom. The other thing is, when I do, one time a girl has asked me to wear a condom, one time. And that was like one of my best friends who friend-zoned me for years, and she was really fucking fit, and I was just trying to shag her for years. And then we got drunk one night and we were snogging and I was finger banging her, and yeah, she just wouldn't let me have sex with her without a condom. What was that? So that never happened because I didn't have a fucking condom. Not one of those guys that carry a little condom in your wallet. And I'm not a rapist. So, exclusive. Let's get back to the story, shall we? So, I stopped mucking around and I shagged her with a condom. And then the woman was like, bang, bang, bang on the door. Time's over, you need to go, blah, blah. And I was like, nah, I need another half an hour. And then, so I pulled all this money together and counting out all these pounds and that, and paid for another half an hour. Shagged it some more. And then I come out after an hour, and then this fucking Indian guy's hanging around. It was like, how was it, man? Was that good? I mean, he looked Indian, but he's British. So I don't need to do the Indian accent for him. So I've come out and he's like, how was that, man? And I was like, yeah, that was well good. And he was like, yeah, man. Looking back, it was a bit weird, but obviously I was pissed I'm in. So, and then he was walking down the street with me, like, and he was like, oh yeah, normally like I sort people out and like they buy me a drink and or something like that, and I was hinting for me to buy him a drink. Oh yes, I've got a match on Tinder. So I was like, alright, get your pint. So I went in the pub, I bought him a pint, and he was giving me that sort of story about how he's homeless and stuff like that. I've been homeless like 4 times probably, but I've been lucky where I've managed to get into like a homeless hostel or stay at a friend's. I mean, if you don't have a tenancy agreement and you don't have a fixed abode and you don't have a flat or house and you're staying at your mate's sofa, then technically you're homeless. You have to register as homeless at the council. So when I tell people I've been homeless, like people visit me in like a cardboard box or something. I've never been street homeless. I've been what they call hidden homeless, where you're just sofa surfing or you're in a hostel. I've been in a few homeless hostels. Anyway, back to the story. So he's telling me all this bollocks. And then I said, I need to go for a piss. Like, and going back to hindsight, it was obviously fucking stupid. I said, I'm going for a piss. Can you keep an eye on my jacket? I know that you're all shouting at the camera like, you're a fucking retard. So, I think even, I said, can you look after my jacket and go for a piss? And I started going upstairs and I suddenly thought that was stupid. But then I thought, I don't have anything in the pockets, so fuck it. If he nicks my jacket, he's just a cunt. He's not got any money or whatever, so fuck him. Went for a piss, gone back. The guy's completely gone, and he's took my jacket. So I was like, fuck's sake. So I checked my pockets. He had took my jacket. I mean, I think it was summer, so it didn't really matter. And it was an expensive jacket. And he was just a cunt, because I just fucking bought him a pint. And I would have bought him more pints, and he's run off with my jacket. So then I realised that my fucking bank card and my train ticket are in there. and I've not really got any money because I've just been paying on my card. So I'm like, fucking hell, could you pay on your card back then? I think that's probably when Chip and Pin just come out, can't remember. I just remember not having any money, not having my train ticket, and not having my bank card. I had my phone and that. So I was like, fuck's sake. And this time I was pissed at my head. Well, I know I was pissed earlier, but now I'm really drunk. So for some reason I rang my boss. And my boss is quite middle class, posh. But he went bankrupt and he had to start doing, he didn't have to, but he started doing like industrial cleaning, working with workmen and stuff like that. But he was always out of his comfort zone because really deep down he's like posh middle class guy, and he's working with all these working class people. So anyway, I rang him, telling him this story, and I don't know why or what I expected him to do, because even if he put some money in my bank, I wouldn't be able to get it out. So I can't remember what he said. He was just like, why are you telling me, what do you want me to do? And I was like, I don't know. I rang the bank, cancelled my bank card. So then that was it. All he had was a ticket, train ticket. He obviously didn't know there was nothing in the pocket really, apart from train ticket, which is not much use to him, and my bank card, which I just cancelled. So then I had to go to the train station and I went to the police station and told them, and they was like, there's nothing we can do. We can make a note of it. And I was like, I need to get back to Southend. And then they was like, tell them that you've been to the police station and we've told them to let you on the train. So I went to Liverpool Street, told them the story, and they looked at me like I just took my pants down and done a shit on the floor. They wasn't having it and they wouldn't let me on the train. And I was like, fuck's sake. So I just had to hang around, and when I wasn't looking, I managed to get through the barriers and things. And go back to Southend, and that was the story of the prostitute. That is the first and only time I've ever slept with a prostitute. Would I sleep with a prostitute again? Yes, probably. Why not? I mean, growing up, I used to think that people sleep with prostitutes is a bit sad, is what like little virgins do, or little freaks that can't get any girls. And obviously if you're on the TikTok, you know I can get bare gash all the time, gash on tap. But now I'm older, I think it's just easier, innit? Just to like, it's just a service, innit? Like getting your oil checked, getting your Tesco delivery, paying your phone bill, getting an extra bundle on your mobile telephone. It's just a service, isn't it? But I don't know any prostitutes, and I wouldn't go to some fucking house thing. You know, you see in like Channel 5 documentaries where you get like some guy called Derek that always goes around there. I wouldn't do all that bollocks. If a prostitute contacted me and she was fit and she said, I'll come to your house and I'll have sex with you and I'll leave after an hour, and she just does everything, all the arrangements and that, and she comes here and then she leaves again, then I would see a prostitute. I'm not going to start walking around the streets looking for one or scouring the internet for an escort. What other story times have we got? My dad used to be a drug dealer, but my dad's died now. Growing up, like my dad he had been on heroin a couple of times, but I didn't really know at the time. I think when I was little he was on heroin, and when I was a lot older he started taking it again, but he got off it a bit, and I remember him never really working. When I was really young, he used to be a gardener. When I was older, he just used to never work, and he used to inject. He'd been heroin on twice, but he'd always got off of it, which is good. Like, he managed to get clean twice. But he used to inject amphetamine, like speed, which is quite rare. I don't know anyone else that's done that. I mean, I'm sure there is people, but it's not really your go-to thing. I mean, I've took speed loads of time, and me and my friends have took it. And you normally put it in a Rizzle or whatever and bomb it. You don't really tend to inject it, and I've definitely never done that. So yeah, he used to inject speed every day, which if you've ever took it, imagine like injecting it every single day. Imagine your sleep pattern and your diet and fucking, yeah, so, but I can't remember when or why or what happened, but I mean, eventually he stopped taking drugs. He never took drugs again. He didn't like make a speech, I'm never going to take drugs again. He just sort of changed. He used to be like an old hippie. My mum and my dad used to dress quite hippery. I don't know the word. A bit like hippies from the 60s, because they were, do you know what I mean? But I think when they got older, they stopped dressing like that, so outrageous. So my dad just used to wear like jogging bottoms and a t-shirt, didn't take drugs, got a job as a night porter at a homeless hostel, and used to work like loads of hours. But as soon as he stopped taking drugs, he started drinking alcohol. And he never used to drink alcohol. I always remember growing up thinking, he doesn't really drink. Because my friends' dads and stuff, they'd always drink and they'd be in the pub and stuff like that. My dad would never be in the pub and he'd never drink at home. But obviously he was doing like drugs all the time. So he basically swapped one thing with another. He stopped drugs, but then he started drinking every day. And like his belly was like massive, like looked like a beer belly, but it was right out here and it was rock solid. And me and my stepmom, like his girlfriend, they split up years later. That's another story. But although they wasn't together, and obviously they're not together now, I still call her my stepmom, like, because she brought us up for years. I wasn't married or anything, but we just always call her our stepmom. We used to say to him, like, your belly's fucking massive and it's out here and it is rock solid. It's not right. So I think eventually he went to the doctors and he might have even gone to the hospital. And they said that he's got cirrhosis of the liver. And he used to get like jaundice where he went yellow and stuff like that. And he just used to drink fucking loads, but not like bottles of whiskey and all that bollocks, and not like, and like a functioning alcoholic where you go to work. He used to drink at work. He had a mug, and he'd put the beer in the mug, and because it's all CCTV, so he thought he'd be clever. So he just used to, all he had to do was sit there and watch TV. Really, so there's staff there, so he'd sit there and watch TV and put his beer in his mug. And he used to work nights, so he'd finish work like 7 in the morning, and then because he'd been working all night, he would drink all day and just drink all the fucking time, but like kinds of beer and that. So obviously they told him to stop drinking or you're gonna die, like they always do. And he didn't, and I was on some fucking job centre course bollocks thing one time where they just send you a bunch of fucking retards to some centre to do your CV and all that bollocks. and I got a call saying he's been taken into hospital. So I spoke to the staff and they let me go. And me and my brother went to the hospital, and he was like really ill, and he was like in the hospital bed, and they said we need to put him to sleep. I can't really remember. We need to put him to sleep. He needs to go under while we do some investigations or whatever. We need to put him into a coma, I think. So they done that, and then we said bye to him, and kissed him on the head. I don't normally kiss my dad or cuddle or stuff, I'm not like that. But the doctor was like, do you want to say bye to your dad? So I don't know if they knew. So we said bye, kissed him on the head. They put him to sleep, and then after that they said they couldn't wake him up again. It was too dangerous, and it was just like the machines keeping him alive. So then eventually they come to me because I was the oldest, next of kin or whatever, and they had to ask me to tell them to switch the machines off that were keeping him alive. So that's quite deep. So I had to tell them to switch the machines off, and obviously he died. I can't even remember why I started talking about that. But he used to sell drugs, but he wasn't if I say my dad was a drug dealer, you're probably envisioning someone some Essex boy in a Land Rover, loads of keys of fucking coke. He just used to sell speed, and any drug dealer knows, don't take your supply, don't get high in your own supply, and that's it. But obviously he did. So his money would just come in and go straight out again. He didn't really make big money, he just done it to fund his habit of speed. So when he died, I started selling speed, and I got this speed off these guys once, off this guy, and people will knock it back and mix it up and fucking cut it to make it go further. So you'd buy an ounce and it'd be really pure and stinky and horrible and potent and quite strong, and then you'd mix it with glucose, sugar and shit like that to water it down, but make it go further, make more money, make a larger quantity out of one quantity. So anyway, I bought this speed off this guy once, and he had obviously mixed it with glucose sugar, and he hadn't done it properly because it just tasted really sweet, and speed does not taste sweet. But it was too late then to say anything to him because he had fucking gone, and we took it and we got fucked on it, so it did work, but it just tasted really fucking sweet. So anyway, we went down Southend Seafront, met these Polish firemen, hench as fuck, massive men, and they were saying that they was looking for some speed, and I was like, I've got loads of them, and they only live round the corner. So I went to get the speed, and then I went down to Chinnery's on Southend Seafront, and we went into the men's toilet, and I sold him this speed, and then all of a sudden there was literally 6 of these Polish firemen, hench as fuck, crowding around me in the toilet, saying, this is sweet, you rip us off. And I was trying to explain it wasn't me, I didn't make it, I just got it for them. And they was really fucking pissed off, and they thought that I was trying to rip them off, and they was crowding around me in the toilet, and I thought I was going to get killed. But in the end they calmed down and realised it wasn't my fault, because it wasn't. And I live to see another day. So that's the prostitute story. So I've told you about the prostitute, my dad dying, and the Polish fireman that nearly killed me. I think that's enough story times for today. Hope you've enjoyed that. I will be back next time with an actual guest. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Cheers, guys.